Welcome back to Serenity Speaks, Conversations on Wellness. And in today's episode, we continue our inspiring conversation with Jamie, an ex-soldier turned rehabilitation specialist. In this second part, we dive deeper into the themes of resilience and self-discovery. Jamie shares insights from Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, offering a fresh perspective on finding purpose in challenging times. We explore the power of adopting simple rituals and routines, proving that wellness doesn't always require a gym. Sometimes it's as simple as a mindful walk.
What would we say to people who are listening at home who might feel a little bit just kind of stuck?
Yeah.
And this is not about specifics, do this number of exercise, blah, blah, blah. Like it all starts in your mind.
Yeah.
You have to have made the decision that you want to do something, whatever it is. It may well be that you feel now is the time to get out and do some physical exercise, right? That decision has to be based on a reason, and so it's why. Understand what your why is, or what your whys are. It could be physical health, it could be mental health, any number of reasons. It doesn't matter. And the quote that I've just given you, I think, was from Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. It's like, if you understand the why, you can endure anyhow.
If you understand your why. Yeah.
And this guy survived Auschwitz.
Oh wow.
Do you know what I mean? So he's
Wow,
coming from that. He's coming from that place. And there's another thing in that book as well. And it's like you will have an incoming stimulus, then you've got your response, and in between the two there's a gap.
Yeah.
And that's the space in which you choose what that response is going to be.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So
Totally.
it's like, do you choose to be happy? Do you choose to be angry? Do you choose to be sad, or whatever? Do you know what I mean? And it isn't all about, going to the gym. Go out for a walk if you can.
Yeah.
With the client group I work with, we talk about, and I talk about rituals and routines. What are our rituals? What are our routines throughout the day? And it's like what Mark says, if you want to make a change, you need to add a change. So it's not about stopping doing certain things. It's about, all right, how can we augment the rituals and routines that we already perform throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
So we've just been out and we've got coffee.
Yeah.
Right? So if we've got a kettle inside this room, we've got to fill the kettle up, we've got to switch the kettle on, we've got to wait for the kettle to boil. How long does it take on average for a kettle to boil, do you think?
That 2-3 minutes.
3 minutes, right? That's what we've decided. It's 3 minutes because it's a nice number, right? How many squats could you do in 3 minutes?
I don't know. No, probably about, let me think. You probably do about 20, depending on how.
Right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The amount.
Doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter. The number is irrelevant. But if you decide, you know what, I need to start toning up. Maybe I'm going to do some squats while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. If you decide that on a Monday, and you did that for, I don't know, just do it for a couple of weeks. Your legs are going to feel fantastic. They'll feel better than they were when they were just hanging over the end of the sofa with biscuit crumbs on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. We're not taking anything away. We're just adding a small change.
I like that. Yeah.
So those couple of squats might go from, with this cup of tea, I'm going to have a stretch for 3 minutes. With my next cup of tea, I might just do some squats. With my next cup of tea, I might do some press-ups on the counter.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. All those little tiny changes once they kind of aggregate and build up over a period of time, you've got a transformation there.
Yeah. Without having to go outside your front door.
You haven't spent any money.
Yeah.
Right? Because what do we, like we're coming up to that golden period for us who work in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
It's the new year, new me crowd are coming, right?
Yeah.
So there'll be lots of shiny trainers and lots of shiny brand new gym kit that we'll see in January that will probably never see the light of day again.
So
and that's sad. I find that so sad.
It is.
It's like people go, right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go and buy a gym membership. I'm gonna spend all my money on all of this fitness equipment and stuff that's going to make me fitter, and it's not going to make you fitter. You are going to make you fitter.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so that's a real thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yes, 100%.
Oh, wow.
100%. And I love it. I love to see it. I do love to see it. I love to see people just being active and being in the gym, but it's like, you see some people, it's like, mate, I'm not going to see you in February.
Oh, so it's that shorter period.
Oh, bang, bang, they just come like, for some of them. For some of them it sticks and it's great.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's like, they hit it with such fury. They end up like either hurting the muscles and they don't like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no easing into the thing. So I ask people the question, how long did it take you to learn how to walk?
Yeah.
Nobody like was born and then the next day like they're doing Swan Lake. Do you know what I mean?
It all takes time.
It's months and months and months, and it's that build up of the skills, you build, the tolerance in the muscles, all that kind of thing, and the coordination.
Yeah, and the mindset.
And that's. Kind of loops back to that point where I say, understand why you're doing what you're doing. Give what you're doing some context. Even if that why is, I just want to go and get sweaty.
Yeah. Would you say, like, so if somebody is in that space now and they every day can't do the thing that they want to do, they want to do something and they feel like they can't, whatever that thing is, you just say, relax in that spot. Because there's going to be a point at which you can move forward.
If you're in that space and you kind of feel like, yeah, you know what, I want to do this, but I can't. It's like, why? That question, like, well, why can't I do it? Like, what's stopping you?
Getting up and
getting to do it. So, like, from a coaching perspective, it's like, right, okay, well, what do you want? What do you want to do? Well, this is what I want to do. Well, what's stopping you from doing it then? Are the barriers intrinsic or extrinsic? Is it something within yourself that's stopping you from doing that, or is it something external that's stopping you from doing that, right? So, like, it might, I want to do boxing. Fantastic. What's stopping you from doing that? I can't afford to go to the gym. All right. Legitimate. That's legitimate, right? That's a real thing. Okay, then. So what can we do about that? Would be the next question then. And what do you want to do about that? That's. It's a little bit cold, isn't it? Because we're just kind of looking at facts. I think and this has been true of myself, in the past. It's about believing that you're worth it. Yeah. Yourself.
Yeah.
And having that sense of self-worth. It's like, oh, you know what, right? I want to do X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to do that. I can't be bothered. Why can't I be bothered? Don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, you do know.
Yeah.
And in my case, it's like, am I worth it? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? And you end up feeling low, and then it just becomes, it becomes a cycle, and it's a spiral because one thing feeds in to another thing. And it's about going, right, stop. Everything, stop. And sometimes even now, like, we're all human beings. My mental health is kind of, at the moment, it's okay, but,
you have your ups and
going
downs,
into, like, in therapy, there's all that kind of thing going on as well, so I'm getting help with it, right? I will disconnect from the entire world. And I'll leave my phone, Won't go online.
Wow.
I won't do anything. I'll just go out for a walk and just disconnect from it all. So that and the other thing as well that we need to consider is that we've got so much coming in.
Yeah.
There's messaging coming from everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, we'll walk down the street, there's messages. There's messages of bomb.
Bombarded.
Like I don't watch the TV anymore. Like terrestrial television. I checked out of that years ago. In fact, I don't think I've watched the news for like 10 years or something like that.
Wow.
I'm aware of what's going on, but I don't watch.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news. I don't watch soap operas and stuff like that. And it's not about being elitist, but if you think about it, what's a soap opera doing?
Yeah.
It's telling you how to deal with your problems and like giving you really poor examples of how to conduct your life. Don't work it out for yourself,
Yeah.
But disconnect, reconnect, or disconnect from the stuff that's coming in and just reconnect with who you are at the deepest level you can manage. That's the starting point, and small steps. Just small steps.
And somebody said to me once, I was doing at the beginning of a yoga class, I usually start with like a breathing exercise, and at the end, just like a meditation, shavasana, and it's the quietness and the stillness that I find that some people. I've actually been told, I say close your eyes. It helps to zone out and stuff, and tune in. And I've had more than one person actually say they don't like closing their eyes. They don't like closing their eyes because the mind goes all, haywire basically. All the thoughts, everything, the hurt really is what they're trying to say.
Absolutely.
Comes knocking, but so fast, it's so quick. So that stops people from sleeping. And being alone with their own thoughts, which is a hard thing, I think, if you've got a lot going on, to zone out or to ask yourself the question, actually, why could be a hard thing for some people to do. Do you think, if you're in a place where your self-worth is very low and you've had some really bad experiences and you're in that place of, I want to achieve this, but I don't think I'm worthy. I also don't think I could fail. That's a mindset of not wanting to try in the first place. You don't even want to get started.
Yeah, I think your relationship to failure is vital in succeeding.
Yeah.
Failure's part of it, and it's the connotation of the word, isn't it? In one sense, there are certain protocols in the gym where we'll say train to failure, where literally there's nothing there. We want failure. We're inviting it. Do you know what I mean? We're inviting that
feeling.
That you can't do it anymore, because we understand, with certain things, you're going to come back and you're going to be stronger as a result of that, right?
Okay.
That's in physical terms. Well, the same is true for, we've just done a course together across this year, right?
Yeah.
Every time we went through the form, was it perfect? No, by no means, right? No. You feel a little bit like a wooden top. Fortunately, we've got Mark, who recognised the mistake. He came to correct it. So in one sense, we failed. That's what we go to do. Embrace it.
And keep going.
And keep going, because it's growth, isn't it?
Yeah.
If and it's that definition of madness thing, isn't it? It's repeatedly doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make the same mistake twice. Once that starts to become a pattern, then that's concerning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously we're not learning. So I at a personal level, I love it.
Yeah.
I love being in a position whereby I'm vulnerable and where I'm wrong. It's fantastic. because I know that I'm gonna get I'm almost like a kid in a sweet shop when it comes to like knowledge and learning new things and concepts and facts. Be comfortable with that, you know, and like be kind to yourself, right? If you find yourself in a set of circumstances that are suboptimal, shall we say, right, and you can trace the source back to some decisions that you made, okay, all right,
that's a good place to be.
that's okay, right? If you've been hurt, if other people have been hurt, right, that's not necessarily great, but we can't affect the past. The past is gone. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we going to do right now that's going to affect what's coming up for us tomorrow and the day after and the day after?
Yeah. That's the key.
You know what I mean?
It's changed now.
Embrace your imperfections, embrace your shortcomings, accept that they are a part of who you are. And if you don't accept them, right, and you really find yourself at odds with who you are, then just change who you are, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Think a new thing. Read a book. Listen to a book if you can.
Think a new thing. Believe a new thing.
Yes.
As I say, have a change of mind, a change of heart.
Yeah.
Well,
Get used to the idea and get comfortable with being uncomfortable at every level. Physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Yeah.
Get used to the idea of being uncomfortable. And again, I've got to give a shout out right now to my mate Brent. He's my colleague. We train together.
Yeah.
And we do the most disgusting things to each other on the gym floor. And it's painful and we love it, but we laugh.
Yeah.
We laugh about it. And one of the things that I talk to my client group about, because they're living with a lot of pain, with a lot of physical pain, and a lot of emotional pain as well. And I kind of ask the question, like, what's the difference between discomfort that is put upon you and the discomfort that you choose to seek out for yourself? And I always kind of get these looks, like these crazy looks, like, what? You know, people say, well, like, nobody goes and seeks out discomfort for themselves. I'm like, well, I beg to differ, actually.
We do.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Have you got your ears pierced?
Yeah.
Have you got a tattoo?
Yeah.
Right? What's the difference? I ask you the question, Claire. What is the difference between discomfort that's put upon you and discomfort that you choose to seek out for yourself?
I suppose because I've got both a piercing and a tattoo, so I suppose I've looked at that as I love the outcome. Do you know what I mean? Well, I know that I'm going through this pain because I'm going to get a certain outcome, and I can actually say that for other things, you know, things that I've put myself through, but I love the outcome. But then when somebody's putting the pain upon you, it's like you resist it, don't you? You don't want it, and it feels unjust. Yeah.
So what's the key difference between the two?
That I'm not seeing that the pain that someone puts upon me as what is the outcome. I'm not looking that far. I'm just in that. I'm stuck in that. Whereas the stuff that I'm doing for myself, it's like I'm looking at the outcome. I can see an outcome.
So like if you wake up one day, you find that you've got arthritis, that's just been put on you. Yeah. If somebody else is doing something, that's being put upon you.
Yeah.
Right, but the pain that you're choosing to seek out, you have control over it, don't you?
That's it. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
You control that. So then, and again, this is my mindset. I just think to myself, no. I look back across my life at the pain that I've volunteered to be in, and the pain that I continue to seek out, and discomfort I continue to seek out. Like, in my mind, I'm bulletproof.
Yeah.
Nobody now external, and I suppose that comes with like with the age that I've now
Yeah.
reached. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't hurt me.
Not
You
giving
can't get in. There's nothing you can say or do to me that's going to cause me anywhere close to the level of discomfort that I will choose to seek out for myself.
Right. Wow.
And it is a control thing. 100% it boils down to control.
What you have control
And
of.
not all physical training is about, like I said at the top of the thing, it's not all fire and brimstone and kind of, like hanging out of yourself. It's not all about that. It can be gentle, as we know with the Tai Chi and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the concept that's important. The more discomfort you seek out, the more discomfort you're able to tolerate. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
There's a I don't know whether you've seen this film. It's called The Iron Cowboy. Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh
Doesn't ring a
my
bell.
goodness me! This guy, I can't remember James Lawrence, I want to say his name is. If I've got that wrong, I do apologise. He's a triathlete. You've heard about the Iron Man triathlon?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's got like
absolutely.
2.5 miles swim, 140 miles on the bike, then a full distance marathon.
Yeah.
So this guy tried to do 50 of those in 50 days.
Really?
Yeah. And he was using an IV to like rehydrate himself. It's legitimate, legitimate techniques, good idea. I've used one myself when I was in the army. I was posted with the medics. I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. Right? Really good.
Wow.
But the socials got onto it, people got onto it, they called him a cheat.
The Iron Guy.
The Iron Guy, right? So they've called him a cheat, and so he's gone off. Kind of gone away to lick his wounds and sort of, think about how he's going to right the wrong. And so he decided that he was going to do 100 full distance Ironman triathlons consecutively in 100 days. A few days into it, he's got stress fractures. Like, doctors are making him stuff. Like, as he's got, like, to just
get through
it, right?
Yeah. Goodness
And
me.
I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon or something like that. You'll be able to find this film, right? Or I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah.
Send you a link to it when I go. It was one of those when I was absolutely gobsmacked. I've never seen anything like it. Gets day 100. There's all these people. They're all there cheering him. It's funny. He's like, yeah. And then like the film like sort of cuts away. Comes back on. In the bottom left-hand corner, it was like day 101. This guy gets into the swimming pool, the beginning of day 101, does a full distance again.
Wow.
Again, right?
Wow.
Now, that's one end of the spectrum. What kind of relationship do you have to have with pain and discomfort for that to even be a thing?
After one day. Yeah. Goodness me.
That's extreme.
Yeah.
Right, so let's just dial it back in to like everyday superhumans that we're aware of. Look at your Olympians.
Yeah. Goodness
Right.
me.
Olympic sprinters will train for 4 years for one race that lasts for 10 seconds. All the sacrifices they make in 4 years for that one race. Right? That's, do you know what I mean? Now, all right, again, that's extreme. I'm not expecting everybody to adopt the mind of an Olympian, of a crazy person doing ridiculous triathlons or military people or whatever. Because we can't all be the same. But my question to people is, what is the difference? What's the difference between you and I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you think, because he's still human.
Still human.
And,
right.
Yeah.
It just boils back, in my opinion, to the decisions that we made and the whys that we had in front of us. That's it.
Why are you doing it? How are you going to do it? You kind of think something like that, you'd have to have the power or find the power through a desperate need. I hear a lot of people say that about so sports people, celebrities and stars, like actors or musicians, and they say, I was hungry. So that's what drives them. They've got to put food on the table, look after their family, get themselves out of poverty, whatever it might be. So they were hungry. And that drives them. But like you say, there's still only a handful compared to the population.
They are the very tip of the spear, aren't they?
It's like to be that driven and focused and determined. But like you say, you can draw it back to what is you might not want to do 50 days Ironman, but it might be just something as simple, like you said, of getting out of bed and starting moving. I want to move. I want to be able to go shopping, walk around the shops rather than order everything in. Or
start with your personal space. Right. If you feel like your mind is a bit of a jumble, the chances are your personal space is probably going to be a bit of a jumble as well.
So true. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe get up,
start with that.
throw the rubbish out, run a vacuum round, like get a cloth out, have a bit of a wipe up. And I don't know about you or anybody else listening, but I know once I've squared my personal space away, it's like,
feels clear.
I feel like my energy's different now. I'm a bit different. I feel a little bit more ordered. Well, once we've got the personal space squared away, like almost our haven or our castle, once that's in order, then we can start going out into the wider world, can't we? Knowing that when we come back, we've got a nice environment to come back to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tidy space, tidy mind.
Exactly. And it works both ways, doesn't it? What's going on inside of your mind will show around you in your environment, and vice versa. Yeah, some great advice there. A lot of wisdom and tips that people can use to just get started, because all it is that start.
And it's the thing with anything. The more you do, the more you're then able to do, and the more you want to do.
And that's the key, isn't it?
It's like, for me, physicality of any kind of any sort, whether it's like in the gym or if I'm out walking, if I'm engaging in martial arts or riding my bike, I don't care how long it's for, but if I've done something, if all I've got in me is a walk around my local park, which is like, it's about a 3-minute walk from my door to get all the way around the park and back to my front door. If that's all I've got, I know that I've done something.
Exactly.
But for my mental health and for my sort of my internal well-being, I have to be active. I just have to. I have to do that.
It totally makes sense, because even I was saying, for somebody who might be bedbound, even if you've got a window by you and you open the window to get the fresh air, if you can't physically get out of the bed, but you can move your arms, you can move your head, there's still some exercises you can do, but just opening the window, even if it's for half an hour, getting the fresh air, because I think that's a lot to do with the movement and getting up and going outside.
Absolutely.
It could be pouring with rain, it could be snowing, it could be freezing, but you wrap up warm, get out, get moving, and fresh air.
There's I think that's good advice. But like for anybody who is restricted, do you know what I mean? They might be recovering, or they're bedbound, or they're in their own space. To start to develop your mindset and start to develop your willpower, because these can all be developed. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just practice. He was a Buddhist guy. Buddhist monk he was. Probably about 10 years ago or so, and I met him. One of the most interesting human beings I've ever encountered. Like, just so chill.
Yeah.
So chill. He spoke very few words. And he was saying like about your willpower and about your mindset. It's like if you get a box of matches, you don't really see them too much these days, right? But like any analog will do. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, but a box of something where there are many of the things inside. Could be drawing pins, it could be marbles, it doesn't matter what it is. She's like, right, you start off by individually counting the matches out of the box.
Okay.
And you put them into one big pile. And then you divide them by 2. And you divide them by 3, all the way down until you've got as many little piles in even numbers of these matches as there is. And then you count the matches back into the box.
Wow.
One by one, neatly, and put them back. That's it. That's the task. I'm not listening to it.
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Why? Like, I don't see the benefit in that. Like, what does it do? And it's like, well, there's zero functional utility in counting matches out of a matchbox and then back in. It doesn't serve any larger purpose. What it does do is it exercises your willpower. So I'm going to do this. It's mundane, it's boring, it's just a bit weird if we're going to be honest, right? But I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You don't even need to move. You can sit, you can have a table next to you. All you need to be able to do is move your hand and be able to see the matches and to be able to count. It may not be something that you want to do, but that's the root of discipline, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's doing things that you don't necessarily want to do.
Or that has no purpose.
Has no purpose, but you're doing them because they need to be done. All right. Who really needs to count matches in and out of the matchbox? That isn't the point, but it's developing that mindset that, you
can do the things that need to be done, no matter how boring and that's fascinating. I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
And I mean, there's different ways to do it. It's like with competitive people. You can kind of go at it a different way, or people who want to give stuff up. I'm not sure whether we spoke about this on the course, right? So let's imagine that you've got a bad habit.
I used to smoke for most of my life, and gave up about 5 years ago. Smoked all my life.
It's a tough one, giving up smoking.
Really difficult, because if you really want something, you're going to make a start, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're going to make a start.
And really, Cleo, and again, this is just my opinion, we're only ever really in competition with ourselves, aren't we? We're not in competition with
anybody else, really.
With anybody else. We're in competition with ourselves. We're in competition with the things that we've come to choose to believe about ourselves. You know?
Yeah, true.
And that's... it can be difficult, I think, for some people to break that cycle.
Yeah.
You know, like your yoga practice, it's a mindful practice. Tai Chi is a mindful practice. You know, exercising in general, I think, is a mindful practice, but not necessarily in the way that most people would associate those two things. And I think that my advice to like everybody in the world is just disconnect for a bit. You know, do that. Try and do that. Beat the chick. Like, decide, right. I'm out. I'm out of it for 21 days. I'm out of it. I'm not doing anything. If you want to reach me, then you're going to need to come to my house. If you don't know where I live, well, you're not going to come to my house. I'm not going to see you for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If I need you, I'll come and find you. But just disconnect and just take that journey within yourself That's where you'll find the answers. Forget about the chatter, any chatter that's going on in there, and any kind of troubling thoughts, right? It's one thing. If you need help with that, I would always advise to go and seek help with that. Separate yourself from that voice and just observe the thoughts.
Yeah, you do that in a meditation as well.
Yeah.
Just notice the narrative that runs through your mind and try and find out why that's happening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's been lovely to see you. Again, my pleasure.
And you.
Any time as well. Let's do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Brilliant.
Thank you for tuning into this powerful conversation with Jamie. I hope today's insights on finding meaning, cultivating self-worth, and embracing rituals have left you inspired to take charge of your own journey. Next week, we'll be joined by the incredible Sheena Chowder, a psychotherapist and founder of SC Therapy and Wellbeing. She'll share how cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT, can transform mental wellness, address the biggest misconceptions about counselling, and offer practical tips for managing holiday stress. It's a conversation you won't want to miss as we head into the festive season. Until then, take care, stay mindful, and remember, small changes can lead to big transformations. See you next time on Serenity Speaks, Conversations on Wellness.